Hi guys, we are going to do some more two-step equations, solving two-step equations, but this time it's going to be with word problems. And we're going to practice not only solving them, but we're going to be able to write and solve a two-step equation from a word problem. And you probably did some of this last year, possibly not a whole lot. So again, you should have your notes out. Feel free to stop and pause along the way so that you can get the stuff written in. And make sure that you're following along with us. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do when we are writing and solving two-step equations is to define your variable. So you're going to read through the word problem, you're going to apply word problem breakdown, and then we're going to define our variable. What we mean by that is look at the question that's being asked, and then you're going to say, okay, this is the variable that I'm going to use, and this is what my variable is going to represent. So I gave an example of X equals the number of kids. So my variable is representing number of kids. Then we're going to write and then solve the equation, showing all of our steps, including a check step. And then we're going to interpret the solution. And an example of what I mean by interpret the solution is, okay, we said X meant number of kids. So when we get an answer like X equals 27, what does that mean? That would mean that 27 kids went on the field trip, if that were what the question was asking. So again, make sure that you are following along with us. Feel free to pause and rewind at any time. Let's go ahead and look at the first example. It says Leo ordered 4 CDs by mail. Each CD cost the same amount. With a $5 shipping, the total cost was $68.96. How much did each CD cost? So the first thing I'm going to do is go through and do some word problem breakdown. So he bought 4 CDs. Each CD, so each means we're multiplying. So he bought 4 of them and each CD cost the same amount of money. It doesn't tell me how much it cost, I just know they were the same. With a $5 shipping, so he also had to pay $5 shipping. So if you're paying shipping, that means you had to add $5 to your total order. And it's really important that you're writing this stuff in the word problem because it's going to make it a lot easier when you go to write the actual equation. Okay? The total cost was $68.96. So it's telling me my total is $68.96, so I'm going to put equal sign right there. And then my question, how much did each CD cost? So that's what we don't know. So this is how I know what to make my variable. I'm going to make my variable a C for cost of CD. And now when I go up in my problem, I want to look for what area is talking about the cost of a CD. And whatever area is talking about the cost of the CD, that's how I know where to put my variable. So I know the $68.96 is talking about the total. I know the $5 is talking about shipping. The $4 is what talks about the CDs. $4 or 4 CDs is talking about the how many CDs he bought. So we're going to put my C with my 4 CDs. So now our equation is pretty much written for us because we did word problem breakdown. So he had 4 CDs, and we don't know how much each CD costs, but we said we'll represent it with a C. And he paid $5 shipping, and he got a total of $68.96. So now feel free to pause the video, go through, solve the equation, and then push start. Restart the video and check your work and see if you got the same answer that I did. So we know we always want to start with the just number, so I cover up whatever is attached to my variable, and I'm left with a plus 5. So in order to get rid of that, we have to do the opposite, which is to subtract 5, and we want to make sure we do that on both sides. And when we have decimals, we want to make sure that we line up those decimal points. So in a whole number, your decimal point's always at the end. So it's going to look like $68.96 minus $5. So over here, those cancel because they're opposites. I'm left with 4C. And then $68.96 minus 5 is going to give me $63.96. My last step shows multiplying by 4, and I know the opposite of multiplying by 4 is to divide by 4. So those give me just C. And I have to divide this side by 4 also. And you can use your calculator. Remember, when you plug it into your calculator, you're going to end up with 15.99. So again, we're going to interpret that solution. What does that mean? This $15.99 is saying each CD costs $15.99. So each CD was $15.99. Now, when we check this, we can plug it right into our calculator. And again, in place of your variable, you're plugging in your $15.99. And you want to work it out. And does this side actually equal $68.96? If you plug it in and it didn't actually equal it, you want to make sure you redo it. All right, let's look at our next one. Our next one says, Anna bought a notebook for $1.19 and pencils for 39 cents each. The total cost was $3.93. How many pencils did Anna buy? So go ahead and pause it, do some word problem breakdown, restart the video and see if your word problem breakdown looked like mine. And if not, go ahead and fix it up. So Anna bought a notebook. So a notebook means she just bought one of them for $1.19. And she bought pencils. So and means we're adding it because she bought a notebook and pencils. And the pencils were 39 cents each. Make sure you have that decimal point in there. Then we have a total cost of $3.92. So remember, total cost is equals. My question, how many pencils did Anna buy? So how many pencils did she buy? So I'm going to use P as my variable, and I'm going to have that represent number of pencils. So now when I go up into my problem, let me draw a line here so we don't get this confused. When I go up into my problem, I want to find what area talks about number of pencils. Again, we know $3.92 is the total. We know the $1.19 is the notebook, right? The $1.19 was the notebook. The pencils were 39 cents each. And remember, each means to multiply. So my P is going to come over here. So now we're going to want to write that equation. So she bought a notebook for $1.19. And she bought some pencils for 39 cents each, but we don't know how many pencils she bought. But her total was $3.92. So that's the equation that we want to look at. Go ahead and pause the video, solve the equation, and then restart it to see if you got the same answer. So we always want to cover up the thing with a variable, and I'm going to start over here. There's no operation out here, so this is understood to be a plus 119, so we're going to subtract 119 from both sides, and again, make sure you have those decimal points lined up. Those cancel, and we're just going to drop down this 39 cents P. Make sure you have that decimal point. And then we have $3.92 minus $1.19, and that's going to give us $2.73. Instead of multiplying by the 39 cents, the opposite is going to be to divide. So we're going to divide both sides by 39 cents. It's really important that you have that decimal point there. And when you divide those, you're going to get 7. So we said P was the number of pencils bought. My answer was 7. So interpret that. That means that Anna bought 7 pencils. And when you plug 7 back in, both sides should equal 392. All right, nice job.